that by living with your blinders on,
Hmm.
like I have this theory that particularly in Western civilization, like America, like where we live, like actually being old is like a fucking party foul. People don't want to people want to take elderly folks and just shuttle them into a nursing home and not deal with them, not look at them. Like like old people serve as a reminder of your mortality, and it just bums people out. Like being old is a party foul.
Well, there's that, but there's also people can't take care of people. They don't have the ability. If you're working full time and you have a career and a family, and your father is unable to take care of himself anymore, you're left with a limited amount of options. Like, what are
Right.
you going to do? Are you going to abandon your life for the next 10 years so that
Right.
you take care of this person 24 hours a day? Or are you going to put him in some sort of a medical facility?
Right.
But then the big fear is that he gets abused there. That is the saddest, scariest shit when you see those videos
Yeah.
of people getting abused in nursing homes, like hidden camera footage of the last days of your life. Some young asshole is fucking smacking you in the head and shoving your face in food.
I haven't seen any of those videos. I'm
Oh,
glad
those
I
are
have
horrible.
not.
They're horrible.
Yeah, and maybe it's not about putting people in nursing homes, but I just think that there's a real, like, a real like living with the blinders on. Like I don't want to think about it. La 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 la, and then you end up, you know, further down the road thinking like, oh man, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? As opposed to really like being deliberate and living the life you would want to have lived when it's coming to an end.
Well, I think it's also a learned thing to be able to take chances. And if you go through your life and you get to, maybe you have a family and your family is your mother and your father are averse to risks and they play everything safe, and then they drill it into your head to play it safe, and then all of a sudden you're 35, you don't know how to do anything risky.
Right.
This is like the life you've always lived. I mean, there's how many people that just live this sedentary lifestyle and they're just gelatinous blobs sitting in a chair every day
Right.
and trying to avoid risk. And by the way, those are the people that freaked out the most when COVID came along.
Right.
Because they were really like genuinely vulnerable. Whereas,
Yeah.
you know, if you're an athlete and you're relatively healthy, that was not something you were as terrified of. And those people got mad at those people that weren't terrified. Because
Right.
for them, it was literally like there was a demon waiting to get them. Because they were scared.
Yeah.
Because they did, and the crazy thing was when those people got vaccinated, they're like, "Well, I'm the smart one. I'm taking care of myself. What are you doing?"
Right.
Like, bitch, you live in a glass house. Like
Yeah.
your body is barely functional, and you have
Yeah.
no resiliency. You know that vaccine it'll help you a little, but you've got other problems. Like you're obese, and that is one of the number one causes of death. Like
For sure.
the idea that you're going to be safe from danger because you got a COVID vaccine. Like, okay, well, maybe you'll be safer from COVID, but you're still vulnerable as fuck if you're obese.
Right.
It is one of the worst things, and it's 40% of the United States.
Right. I mean, somebody said this. Said, you see super old people smoking cigarettes all the time.
Because they're like, fuck it.
But how often do you see super old obese people?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't.
I mean, when you put it in those terms,
Yeah.
it becomes very evident that obese,
Yeah.
like it.
Some people can just smoke for whatever reason.
Right.
It's weird. Did you see that guy, Chinese guy who's running marathons? Who was he ran a marathon in 3.5 hours while smoking cigarettes? See if you can find that cat. You got him? I mean, it's hilarious seeing this guy run. He's running
Yeah.
like really good times. Look at him. He's an older guy too. Uncle Chen, long distance chain smoking grandpa, runs a marathon in 3.5 hours. So this dude is fucking chain smoking while he's running a marathon.
Bert Kreischer.
And he's a grandpa. But he's running like a real good time. Like 3.5 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Back up to that video. That guy's younger than me by 5 years. So fuck that. I just changed my tune. So I'm in way better shape than that guy. That was like, remember when we saw that old dude that got in a fight outside the bar? And I was like, look at that old man. Because they said he was like a 92-year-old boxer and he's fucking these dudes up. And then I found out he was younger than me. He was actually only 53. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, well, he's in terrible shape.
That time is pretty
Yeah.
fast. I was just looking at the New York City Marathon qualifying times, and for a 40 to 40-year-old, you have to be under 4 hours, and this is a half an hour faster than that.
Yeah, no, that's a legit time.
fast.
Like a really good marathon runner, 3 hours is the goal, right? They want to get under 3 hours. That guy's fucking hoofing it at 50 years old, and he's smoking cigs the whole way. Look at him.
yeah. Man,
It's better than being obese.
Fuck cigarettes, man.
Yeah, fuck all that stuff. But look at him. Healthy as fuck. You know, in Thailand, a lot of the Thai fighters smoke cigarettes. A lot of the Thai boxers, they smoke and they drink, and then they fight.